Okay. And hello, 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 and welcome to the Radiant Rebirth online retreat, where we're ushering our age of empowerment, owning who we truly are, gaining clarity of direction, and taking that soul aligned action with ease and grace. Today, I have the incredible pleasure of being joined by Louisa Havers. Louisa is the creator of the Helix method, and she works with leaders, CEOs, and coaches all around the world, helping them to live to their fullest potential and their highest value. Louisa, good morning, good evening. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much, Kia. I'm so excited and honored to be joining you.
Amazing. I'm super excited, and I'm really, really excited because I know what you're sharing, and I know how powerful this method is. And I think it's going to be incredibly, incredibly useful for our audience. So, would you like to share just a little bit more about who you are and what you do?
Absolutely. Thank you so much. So I am a success advisor. I'm the creator of the Helix method and a master Akashic record channel. And I work with self-aware entrepreneurs to help them break through every ceiling in life and in business. And I also teach and certify coaches and healers in the Helix method, our energy psychology certification and our Akashic record certification as well. And I used to live in the UK up the road from you, and now I'm in Thailand.
I mean, it's just living the dream, and I know that you're traveling with your family, really kind of living that your life to your fullest potential. So, you not only teach this, but this is really about you living it and you being an example and a testament to the work that you do. It's just beautiful.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, we're absolutely loving Thailand, I have to say. It's very hot. We're adjusting to that.
Please send more heat and sunshine back to the
I
UK.
will. I'm sending it over.
So beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that. Would you like to tell us a little bit more about what you'll be teaching and sharing today?
Yes, absolutely. So I'm so excited to share this with you. So when I was thinking about what would be helpful for our conversation today, I was thinking about, as you were talking about, women over 50, the age of empowerment. One of the key aspects is as we are stepping into this age is really starting to step into a new identity, into this next chapter. And of course, every evolution and growth that we have requires a new identity of from us, so that we can have the results and the experience that we desire. And this is a key component of what I help people to embody when I'm sharing the Helix methodology with them. And so I will give you an overview of the 6 energetic blocks that can come up so people know what to look out for. And then I would love to take people through our Helix methodology so they can get a taste for it. And we'll uncover a hidden block or resistance. And I'll show you how to move through that very, very quickly. And so you can start to feel that in your body and to have this to contribute to the audience.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect. That is beautiful. So I will turn the floor over to you if you want to share your screen. It's all over to you. Thank you so
Oh,
much.
perfect. Thank you so much, Kia. Alrighty, so what I wanted to share in relation to, I'll just speak to the 6 energetic blocks that can come up. So these are writer downers, and actually that said, I have got a guide for everybody. So if you download the guide that will be somewhere beneath this video, then you'll have these 6 energetic blocks laid out for you with the full descriptions there for you, so that you've got that to hand. And then when I take you through the methodology, I'll share my screen so that for those of you that like to see words alongside listening to my guidance, then I've got you covered with, I'll share the guide itself. So you get a sneak peek of the guide too.
Perfect.
And this has all been evolved over my working with entrepreneurs. We've helped over 10,000 entrepreneurs to break through their upper limits. And so what has happened is over time is I was like, Do you know what? There are 6 energetic blocks that come up, and I just think it's really helpful to be able to categorize them in that way so that we can normalize it. We're not thinking that there's something wrong. We're not stuck because, that we've done something bad. It's there's something bubbling up and it's likely to fall into one of these categories. And so then we know where to go with the Helix method to be able to start to laser in and to get the results that we desire. And of course, these as I share these, you'll be like, okay, I see what she's talking about. They are interconnected. They hold a complex cluster of energies, beliefs, patterns, emotions, frequencies, all the things. But these will bubble up and they will slow down us in all aspects of life, whether it's, running our business, whether it's in relationships with family members, with loved ones, fulfilling our purpose, having the courage to move across to the other end of the world, whatever it might be, whatever your 50s is looking like, or whatever your next chapter is looking like. And I just think that when you've got a methodology that you can, rinse and repeat with the methodology, that you can melt these blocks away and to start to have more ease and grace in your experience. And I typically lead people through this with a focus around their wealth consciousness and money, because one of the things I find is that everybody wants to financially relax. That's whether they've got money or they're feeling like, hang on, it's really dried up right now. What's going on? I need to have some more flow in this. So as we don't want to have any stress, I thought I would lead with this. So I'm going to invite people just to contemplate what is the revenue amount that they're wanting to call in over the next 30 days, let's say. And just to have this in your mind as you're thinking about this. And so to see where you may feel like the blocks might be bubbling up for you. So the first block is a resonance rift. So I call this a resonance rift. And what I mean by that is there is inner conflict between the different layers of your consciousness. Your higher self might be thinking, right, we're up to one thing. Your conscious mind thinking something completely different, and your subconscious that has 100% success rate in delivering its programming is actually taking you in a completely different direction. And so we've got this disconnect between the layers of consciousness. The second one is around in relation to our default set points. And this, we can have default set points physiologically, psychologically, and energetically, and they across all aspects of life. And of course, they will impact our cash flow, our identity in relation to cash flow, our identity in relation to sales, our identity in relation to whatever aspect it may be, and including how much joy we'll allow into our lives as well, how much ease and grace. We have default set points around that. And anytime we're moving forward, they get triggered and we get pulled back to those default set points, unless we've done the identity work to be able to really embody that and create those new default set points. So the third block that can come up is our current identity. So our current identity becomes the block when we're wanting to move beyond what our current identity is living and experiencing. So we got to change it to get to where we want to go. And then the next one is I call this the nervous system pinnacle. So we all have our nervous system has got a capacity of what it will allow us to receive and experience before it gets triggered. And our typical nervous system response, whether that's a fight, flight, freeze, fawn, flop response, whichever one it is for people, we typically have a favorite way to our nervous system likes to show up. That gets triggered, and then that can start to pull us back into changing our behavior, and then of course that all changes our results that we see in our reality. So there we have that one, and that one can bubble up for people, and often people will be, if they're feeling like they're not as far ahead as they would like to in life, we give ourselves a whole bout of shame, and we can hold this shame very unconsciously, just sort of bubbling away in the background, hoping people don't find out about XYZ, whatever it might be, and that actually creates a lot of stress in the body. So that one can be bubbling away. And these all interlink into what I call energetic buffering. And I like to talk about energetic buffering because we live in the age of the internet. So everyone gets, we all know, we've all had that little Wi-Fi signal when it goes yellow or red. And we're like, no, it's not coherent. I can't hear the other person speak. The messages are getting jumbled all the way through. And we can be like that. We have our own human Wi-Fi. And when we're energetically buffering, we've got that yellow signal, we've got that red signal, even though we want that nice, strong green signal. And what happens here is this is where we have, there's always, talk about three flows of energy that we're in at any one point in time. The flow state, that's the one we want. That's the green Wi-Fi signal. That's where everything's going swimmingly. Mercury retrograde's not having an impact on us. Things are going really, really well. And then we have resistance. That's like the yellow buffering, where things are kind of going, getting through, but there's a resistance bubbling up. And typically this comes from limiting beliefs and our identity and our nervous system response. And then we have reversed energy, or energy reversals, as I speak about them. And this is where we've had a shock, or we've had a trauma. And of course, there's a whole gamut in terms of the different types of traumas that we can have, where if we think of it like our energy's just got stuck in that moment in time, and it's created this reversed energy. And that's the red signal, the red human Wi-Fi signal. And so what we want to do is we want to be clearing up the red signals and the yellow signals, so that we're getting more of our energy into that coherent flow state, if that makes sense. And what we'll be doing with the Helix method is be doing that, getting more greens.
Getting more greens. Now, interestingly, when you talked about the energy buffering, your volume went down. Your volume going, I mean, you can't make it up. So could you just talk about that just a little bit more? Just, I want to make sure that everyone's kind of getting everything that you're saying.
I love it. That was like a live demonstration of
It really
energetic
was.
buffering.
I was going, what is happening? Sorry.
I love it. As demonstrated earlier, when my volume went down and the signal went yellow and all the things. So we've got three flow states. So the flow state is the one that we want to be in. That's where the signal's green. Our thoughts are aligned with our emotions. We're energetically aligned with the desires that we want to have. So all systems go. The universe can hear what we want and is just bringing us the goods. Then we have the yellow Wi-Fi signal. So this is when our energy is in resistance, where you can have things like volume going down or whatever it might be. And this typically comes from limiting beliefs, experiences that we hold from our identity, and our body's response in terms of the direction that we're wanting to go in. And so we've got this incoherence in our field, and we're sending out mixed messages typically to the universe, and it can create that kind of push-pull feeling. If that makes sense, like 2 steps forward, 1 step back, like, please let me get there already. And then we have reverse energy. And so that's where we've got that kind of red signal, and really the messages aren't getting through because it takes up a lot of energy to hold these reversed energies. And they typically come from shocks and traumas that we may have had across all aspects of life. And often our conscious mind will think that they're not linked to whatever experience that we're currently having, but it's not about whether it consciously makes sense or not. It's about whether our body has made a connection and is thinking, oh, hang on a second, we're about to have that, and then triggering all the blockages to be able to keep us safe ultimately.
Perfect. Thank you.
So I hope the signal was clear
It was great.
for
Clear. It was clear that time.
Oh, beautiful. And then the last energetic block that can come up is I call this strategic dissonance, because this is where we can be applying a strategy for our businesses and we're just out of alignment with it. And I wanted to speak to this because so often people, when they're talking about, consciousness or mindset, energetics, don't speak about the strategies that we're implementing and the skill set required in relation to that. And actually that then can become the energetic block, because it's going to send somebody down a complete rabbit hole in relation to their identity and their worthiness and their deservingness and all the things. So we do need to have the skills to run our businesses and to be able to always developing those, because things change in the marketplace and all that kind of stuff. So I just wanted to speak to that, and for people to be able to have that and recognize that actually, is that the block? Could that be the thing that's creating that resistance there? So I hope that all made sense. So just inviting people to contemplate those as they're thinking about, okay, I'm wanting to set the intention to be the kind of person that has XYZ cash in the next 30 days. And so if we use an example of 10K cash, just so that I can kind of have a number to speak to, and when I'm using saying 10K, if that's not your intention and you've got a higher or lower number, just swap out the language and fit in the number that you're calling in. But we'll just use 10K as an example for everybody today. So what I would love to take everybody through is, let's find out where we may have some reversed energy and some resistance. And I'm going to take you through the Helix methodology so that we can start to uncover, and I'll show you how you can clear it and start to see how this feels in your body. So I'm really excited to do this. And one of the things I notice is that often when people are doing muscle testing, because we're going to do muscle testing, is that the key mistake I see them make is they're not asking the right questions or enough questions. And so one of the things I teach is to go 3 to 5 layers deep to get to the root. So I'm going to take you through 3 questions that we're going to ask, because you might be thinking, oh, these are a bit similar. But the reason being is we're going to go 3 to 5 layers, 5 to layers deep. Right, so I'm going to share my screen so that for those of you that like to follow along with words can do so as we do this together. And I'm going to take you through this. I'm just going to find the document. Okay, here we go. And so hopefully you can see my screen now. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. I'm just going to move that over there so I can see. Okay, perfect. Alrighty. So what we do within the Helix method, the first thing we do a higher self invocation so we can really center ourselves and to align the different layers of our consciousness. Then I'm going to guide you through the muscle testing, which we use the sway technique, which if people haven't been familiar with that before, don't worry, I've got you. I'll talk you through it. It's very, very simple, very powerful, because you can actually feel the energy as you're doing it. And it simply is using your body like a dowsing device. And then once we've identified where there may be some stickiness in your field, then I'm going to guide you through releasing it, and then we're going to start to imprint what is going to be actually more helpful in creating the identity that's going to support you in bringing in this cash that you desire in the next 30 days. So I hope that sounds good. Alrighty, so the first step is our higher self invocation. So I'm just going to invite you to close your eyes, and I'm going to guide you through this, so you don't need to be looking at the screen right now. And what we're going to do is we're going to create an intention of connection through your breath. So what we are doing is we're increasing your life force energy through your breath. So inviting you to breathe in for 4, hold for 4, and breathe out for 8. And just to bring your awareness to your breath to start with. From this place, setting the intention to connect and to bring your awareness to your soul star chakra. So just bringing your awareness to above your head, about 18 inches above your head. And then you can say this out loud or silently, whatever feels more comfortable for you. I'll say this out loud so you can follow along. Speaking to all levels of my consciousness, I intend that in the name of divine truth, love and light, let all information come from my higher self and be in alignment with my divine truth for my highest good and the highest good of all. I am creating a clear channel of communication and manifestation between my subconscious, conscious, and higher self, so that they are 100% connected and in perfect alignment, and all working towards my highest path and purpose. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And just inviting you from this place just to notice how you feel. And what we're going to do now is to start to energy test or muscle test with the sway technique. And so I've got a little diagram on the screen here so you can see what this looks like. But what we're going to do is we're going to be asking your consciousness and asking your body to respond with a yes or a no to some statements that we're going to make. And this is how we can find out what is hidden in the different layers of your consciousness. So I'm just going to invite everybody who's watching to jump up now and to stand with your feet hip width apart, to relax your knees, close your eyes, and just to, if you've never done muscle testing in this way before, just to say to yourself, right, subconscious, conscious mind, higher self, we're going to go forwards for a yes and backwards for a no. So tell yourself that, and then say yes, 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 yes. And just then pause and observe. Or typically we'll go forwards for a yes. You may feel an energetic pull in your heart. It may feel very subtle. It may be big. Everyone's going to be different. We're just creating your baseline response. And then I'm going to invite you to say no, 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 no. And typically you'll go backwards for this. And again, just observe how this feels. Does it feel like a big sway, a little sway? What's going on for you? And then if you haven't done this before, you're new to this, then I invite you just to say things you know to be true, like, I live in such and such road. My name is Louisa Havers. Say things that you know to be true that are relevant for you, and just to see how your body responds, and how, when you don't doubt it because you know it's a fact, what the sway feels like. And then say things that you know to be false again, so you can get that baseline response. Alrighty. As we do this, I'm going to invite you to say 3 phrases now, and then we're going to see if you get a forward sway or a backward sway on this. And one of the things is your body is going to start speaking to you, so you will have a somatic response. So I'm going to just invite you, as you say these phrases out loud, just to see if you notice any difference. Do you have any pressure changes? Do you get a pain in your body? Do you suddenly remember something? This is all your consciousness speaking to you. So just to make a note of this so that you can bring that to your awareness, as it's linked directly to the phrase that you've just energy tested on. Alrighty, so the first phrase is over the next 30 days. So just jump up now and just to muscle test that and see if you get a yes or a no. So I have got resistance to receiving 10K over the next 30 days. Then when you've got your yes or no, then I want you to move on to the next one. So we're just creating a little to-do list of what we're going to release. Then I'm going to invite you to say, I have got an energy reversal. So this is where your energy is going backwards, preventing me from receiving 10K in 30 days. Again, see if you get a yes or no. So this is around the energetics, so energetic buffering, the resistance, and the energy reversal. And then the third phrase I'm going to invite you to say out loud is, I'm the kind of person who has 10K cash months. So this is your identity piece. And so you may have got yeses to all of them. You may have got some yeses and some nos. Everyone's going to be different. And I'll guide you through releasing the resistance and the energy reversals collectively, and then show you how to imprint, so you can just simply follow along. Alrighty, so I'm going to invite you to the phrase that we're going to use is, if I just highlight this here, there we go. So I'll say this out loud so you can follow along, because I really want you to feel into this. Is to say it out loud once and then twice internally. And we're going to say, I'm ready to release this resistance and energy reversal. We're going to do it together, preventing me from receiving 10K in 30 days. I release and delete this from all dimensions, planes, times, and levels of consciousness. Just notice how you're feeling. And then I'm going to invite you to say it in your head. So I'll say it out loud so that if you want to close your eyes, you can. And another beautiful thing you can do is just to tap on the karate chop here with your fingers as you're doing this, as we're releasing an energy reversal. So just bringing your heart into coherence, breathing in for 4, breathing out for 4. I'm ready to release this resistance and energetic reversal, preventing me from receiving 10K in 30 days. I release and delete this from all dimensions, planes, times, and levels of consciousness. Just breathing in for 4, breathing out for 4. Notice how that feels in your body. You can pause the karate chop if you want, just so you can observe your consciousness and your energy field. Again, silently saying, I'm ready to release this resistance and energetic reversal, preventing me from receiving 10K in 30 days. I release and delete this from all dimensions, planes, times, and all levels of consciousness. Just taking a nice deep breath in and out. And then if you want to validate this, you can muscle test again and say it in the positive. I have released this resistance and reversed energy, preventing me from receiving 10K in 30 days. And just observe how your body responds. And when you sway forwards, yes, you'll be like, yes, it's gone, hooray. Alrighty, so then what we're going to do is we're going to move on to creating that aligned coherence. And so this is where we're imprinting, we're starting to create the identity of the future version of ourselves so that we can really embody that now and start to send out that green, strong, coherent Wi-Fi signal, human Wi-Fi signal. So I've got some examples here. So what we're doing here is we are creating the heart coherence by breathing in for 4 and breathing out for 4, and then associating the intention with the feeling. So we can really amplify that frequency. So typical phrases are, I've just received X, Y, Z, and I feel, the emotions that you're feeling. And I choose this across all dimensions, planes, times, and levels of consciousness. So if we do this here, so we're using the example of 10K cash months. So I'm the kind of person who has 10K cash months. I feel so accomplished, motivated, and flow. So that's the phrase that we're going to start to imprint. Okay, so I'm just going to start to invite you to start to breathe in for 4 and breathe out for 4. Bringing your awareness to your heart. Start to fill your heart up with love. Feel your heart chakra getting bigger and brighter, bigger and brighter, bigger and brighter. And from this place, we're going to say this 3 times, really holding this frequency, saying it once out loud and twice internally. I am the kind of person who has 10K cash months. I feel so accomplished, motivated, and in flow. I allow this across all dimensions, planes, times, and levels of consciousness. Just breathing in for 4, breathing out for 4. And then saying it internally so you can hear it as a thought in your head. I'm the kind of person who has 10K cash months. I feel so accomplished, motivated, and in flow. I allow this across all dimensions, planes, times, and levels of consciousness. Just taking a nice deep breath in and out. And then just the last time. I'm the kind of person who has 10K cash months. I feel so accomplished, motivated, and in flow. I allow this across all dimensions, planes, times, and levels of consciousness. And now you've elevated your frequency, brought yourself more into alignment with that desired income, whatever the amount is that you're calling in for these next 30 days. And from this place, I just invite you to live in the energy of the question, how do large sums of money come to me so consistently and easily? And just to allow yourself to contemplate this through the day. You've activated this in your energetic field, and notice the synchronicities that start to come through for you. So I'm so excited to have shared that with you. That is just a sneak peek of the Helix method.
So beautiful. I was sort of following along with you and doing the exercises, and I've done this before with you, and it's so beautiful. My heart feels expanded, and I hope those who are watching either live or recorded or watching it later really get this and really feel how powerful this method is. Thank you so much for sharing this. People will be able to download the workbook and the worksheet that you were working through as well. Thank you so much for sharing that, Louisa. That was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. How can people get in contact with you?
Oh, thank you, Kia. So I have a website, louisahavers.com, so they can find me there. And I'm on all the social media, Instagram, Facebook, and those are the two that I'm mainly active on. So come and find me there.
Amazing. And is there one or two last words of inspiration that you can leave with our audience today?
I would love to invite everybody to consider how they can bring more love into their life and to lead their actions with love, because truly that is what the world needs right now. And when we're leading with love, that's when we're actually being our true, authentic selves.
Amazing, amazing. And one of the one of the pillars of the Build Foundation. So thank you so much for reflecting that. That's perfect. Louisa, thank you so much for joining us here today. And, please, if you are interested in Louisa's work and the Helix method, please do get in contact with her. Thank you so much for sharing your method with our audience today. And I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much, Kia. Thank you for having me.
Pleasure, pleasure.